Hi coders, welcome to Programming Tuts YouTube channel. In this video we are going to create a blur effect as shown in the video. We are going to create this blur effect in Unity Shader CG programming. We are going to use vertex and fragment shader. Before, please subscribe the channel. Subscribe button is on bottom left. You can click on the button to subscribe the channel. Like, comment and share the videos to your friends. Yes, it's time to dive into the code. Open Unity 3D project. Create one quad or cube in hierarchy. Create a material in material folder. Create a unlit shader code in shader folder. Clear all pre-written code from the shader, as we are going to write the blur shader from scratch. Create path for shader program where we can assign the shader program from the material. Create a property section. Inside the property section declare one texture variable. Create a subs header section. Inside the subs header section create a pass. Inside the pass open the CG program and end it. Inside the CG program create two pragma for vertex and fragment function. Create two struct, one for input shader and one for output shader. In input of data shader create two variables. One is vertex to get position of vertex and another one UV texture coordinates. In output v2f struct create the variables we want to modify, as we have to change vertex to clip position and getting UV values. We are creating two variables, vertex position and UV coordinates. SV refers to semantic values, as internally shader requires the parameter. Now define the variables which we declared in the properties section to use in the CG program. For texture we use sampler 2D and the maintex_sd it requires for internal calculation for shader. It's time to create the two function which we declared in the pragma. First, vertex function. Vertex function return the struct v2f. So we declaring the local variable v2f. Next we are converting object position to clip position using shader function unity object to clip pos. Next assigning the UV values as it is. Then returning the struct. Next will be fragment function. Fragment function return the value fixed for or float for or half for. We are declaring the fixed for local variable col. We are giving red color to it by defining fixed for 1,0,0,1. Save and switch back into Unity. Fix the compilation error. As I already mentioned, put semicolon after struct. Second one is in frag function instead of sv_target I had written st_target. Change that and switch back to Unity. In the material which you created change the shader type from standard to the path you mentioned in the blur shader code. Like I mentioned, programming tut/blur. Then assign the material to game object. You can see the color changed to red. Declare all the variables we need for blur in the properties section. First and second will be custom center where the blur should start from. Sample will be how much texture sample we are going into the loop. Next one is blur strength. Define all the variables inside CG program so we can use in the CG program. Now calculate the difference or distance from the UV values to the custom center we defined. Declare and define the radius variable so we can calculate how much radius the blur can go. Open the for loop with less than the sample values. In the for loop we are calculating the blur values. We are dividing the number of samples by value I. Then we are dividing magnitude of dist by radius. Saturate is the shader function which we can limit the values from 0 to 1. Then multiplying all the divided values with blur strength. Text2d function is a shader function which takes parameter a texture and flow to. In the second parameter we are multiplying calculated blur to the dist and adding the custom center. Yes, that it's most of calculation is done. Out of the for loop AE are diving the COL by samples because to get the values from 0 to 1 so it can be normalized. Now switch back to Unity. You can see the shader scaled up. But it's not what we expected. What's happening now is some of the calculated blur value goes to 0 so it's returning that value and got scaled up the texture. We can fix this. Now switch back to Visual Studio. Just by subtracting 1 by the calculated values of blur will fix this issue. Now switch back to Unity. We can see the blur in the game object with full texture shown. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment, share the video to your friends. Please subscribe the channel and click on bell icon to get notification when new videos are uploaded. You can ask doubt in comment section and comment related to Unity game programming or Python so I can put video related to that topic.